What if I told you that Einstein wasn't born a genius? That Tesla used to stand alone in the dark doing nothing for hours at a time? That Da Vinci slept in 20-minute bursts instead of full nights? These people weren't just smart, they were trained. And here's the crazy part. The techniques they used, they're not locked away in some secret society. They are mental cheat codes. And once you learn them, you cannot unsay them. Today, I'm going to hand you 10 of the most powerful mind training methods ever used by history's greatest thinkers. Cheat code 1, the blank stare method, deep thinking mode. Here's something weird. When you're doing nothing, staring out the window, spacing out in the shower, your brain is actually doing its most powerful work. Scientists call this the default mode network. It's basically your brain's background processor. Geniuses like Einstein and Newton deliberately triggered this state. Einstein called it his thought experiments. He'd close his eyes, do nothing, and simulate entire physics scenarios in his mind. The cheat code every day: give yourself 10 to 15 minutes of pure, undistracted staring. No phone, no music, just you and your thoughts. Most people call this being lazy. Geniuses call it strategic thinking. Cheat code 2, the Feynman technique. Learn anything fast. Richard Feynman won the Nobel Prize in physics. But his real superpower, he could explain anything: black holes, quantum mechanics, nuclear reactions to a 5-year-old. And that's exactly his secret. Feynman believed that if you can't explain something simply, you don't actually understand it. You're just memorizing words, the cheat code. Take any concept you're learning, write it down as if you're teaching it to a kid. No jargon, no big words. The moment you get stuck, that's the gap in your knowledge. Go back and fill it. Do this once and you'll understand more in 1 hour than most people learn in a week. Cheat code 3, spaced repetition, the memory hack. Here's the brutal truth about how your brain works. Within 24 hours of learning something new, you forget 70% of it. Within a week, nearly all of it is gone. But geniuses don't have better memories, they have better systems. Hermann Ebbinghaus, one of the first memory scientists, discovered that if you review information at increasing intervals, your brain locks it in permanently. This is called spaced repetition. The cheat code: don't cram. Instead, review something after 1 day, then 3 days, then a week, then a month. Apps like ANI do this automatically. This is the closest thing to a photographic memory that science has ever found. Cheat code 4, first principles thinking. Think like Elon. When everyone told Elon Musk that rockets were too expensive to build, he didn't accept that. He asked one question: what are rockets actually made of? Aluminum, steel, copper, wire, rocket fuel, raw materials that cost a fraction of the final rocket price. So he built SpaceX from scratch and cut rocket costs by 90%. This is first principles thinking, stripping a problem down to its most basic truths, then rebuilding your solution from the ground up. The cheat code. The next time you face a problem, don't ask, how has this been done before? Ask, what do I know to be certain to be true? What's the simplest possible solution from there? This is how geniuses solve problems that stump everyone else. Cheat code 5, interlay, the counterintuitive study hack. Here's something that will blow your mind. Studying one subject for hours at a time actually hurts your learning, but mixing multiple subjects together, even randomly, makes your brain stronger. This is called interlay. And studies show it improves long-term retention by up to 40% compared to focused block studying. Why? Because when you switch between topics, your brain is forced to actively retrieve different strategies. It gets stronger, like doing varied exercises at the gym instead of just bicep curls every day. The cheat code. Instead of studying math for 2 hours straight, do 30 minutes of math, then 30 minutes of a language, then 30 minutes of history. Your brain will hate it at first. That discomfort, that's called growth. Cheat code 6, the Da Vinci journaling method. Ideas on paper equals ideas supercharged. Leonardo da Vinci kept notebooks, thousands of pages of them, sketches, questions, random observations, half-baked ideas. He wasn't just doodling. He was externalizing his thinking. Modern neuroscience backs this up. When you write by hand, your brain encodes information more deeply. Writing forces you to slow down, organize, and process thoughts that would otherwise evaporate. The cheat code. Keep a daily notebook. Not a diary, a thinking journal. Write down questions that bother you. Sketch weird ideas. Connect unrelated concepts. Some of history's greatest inventions started as a random scribble in a notebook. Cheat code 7, polyphasic sleep, hack time itself. Da Vinci reportedly slept in and out naps every 4 hours, totaling just 2 hours of sleep per day. Tesla rarely slept more than 2 hours. Now, I'm not telling you to sleep 2 hours a night. That's extreme and not for everyone. But here's what is proven. Strategic napping supercharges your brain. NASA studies found that a 26-minute nap improved performance by 34% and alertness by 54%. Your brain consolidates memories during sleep, even short sleep. The cheat code: after intense learning, take a 20 to 26-minute nap. Set an alarm so you don't fall into deep sleep. You'll wake up with clarity that feels almost unfair compared to people who push through the afternoon fog. Cheat code 8, negative visualization, the Stoic mind trick. The Stoic philosophers Marcus Aurelius Seneca used a mental exercise called premeditatio malorum, translated premeditation of evils. Every morning they'd vividly imagine everything that could go wrong that day. Not to be pessimistic, but to prepare their minds. Here's why it's genius. When you expect the worst and prepare for it, nothing surprises you. You become unshakable. Problems that paralyze others don't even faze you. The cheat code: before any important event, spend 5 minutes asking, what's the worst that could happen and how would I handle it? Geniuses don't just think positively, they think completely. Cheat code 9, cross-domain learning, connect dots others can't see. Steve Jobs once said, creativity is just connecting things. He studied calligraphy in college, a completely unrelated field. Years later, it directly inspired the beautiful typography of the first Mac. Geniuses don't just go deep in one area. They go wide first, then connect ideas across disciplines in ways specialists never can. The cheat code: deliberately learn things outside your main field. Read a history book, study music theory, learn to cook. The more darts you collect from different worlds, the more unique connections your brain can make. Your strangest hobby might be your greatest intellectual weapon. Cheat code 10, the hour rule, never stop being a student. Bill Gates reads 50 books a year. Warren Buffett spends 80% of his workday reading. Barack Obama read every night, even in the White House. Michael Simmons studied the habits of history's greatest minds and found a pattern. He called it the hour rule. No matter how busy they were, they dedicated at least 5 hours per week to deliberate learning, reading, reflecting, experimenting. 1 hour per workday. That's it. In 1 year, that's 365 hours of compound intellectual growth. In 5 years, you'll be operating on a completely different level than the people around you. Let me be real with you for a second. None of these cheat codes are magic. You won't become Einstein overnight, but here's what is true. Every single one of these techniques rewires your brain slowly, consistently, powerfully. Here's the thing about geniuses that no one tells you. They weren't special because of their IQ. They were special because they refused to stop growing. They treated their mind like a muscle, and they trained it every single day. Hit that subscribe button, because every week we break down the psychology, neuroscience, and real-world habits that separate extraordinary people from everyone else.